Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Philip. This is a Ranger's Respite. Today we're doing another uh, whiskey library review. Before we get into it, I'm just going to front load all of my ads. Um, the day Friday, this coming Friday, as of this posting, uh, first Friday in January, because bear with me. I'm in the liminal space between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know what day it is anymore. Today is the 20. No, today's the 30th. So tomorrow's Wednesday, which is when this video is coming out. Thursday's the first, Friday's the second. The second, there's going to be a t-shirt design. I'm going to be setting up a like TeePublic store or a spreadshirt. I haven't decided yet. Keep an eye out. But I've been working on merch designs. I'm going to be selling stickers, t-shirts, and maybe at some point down the line, baseball caps, because I like baseball caps, to try to recoup the cost of running the show, because believe it or not, almost everything that I talked about, I paid for out of my own pocket. Like today's item. Oh, and real quick, already available, $25. Click the link to go to my Etsy shop in the description below. You can buy a ballpoint twist pen, very nice, made out of a French oak barrel stave. The French oak barrel stave held cognac for 45 years and then was used to finish a peated American single malt whiskey in the Pacific Northwest. I can't tell you which one. The master distiller couldn't get her marketing team to sign off on me being able to tell you where it is. But those of you who know. And now, after burning 2 minutes of screen time, what are we looking at today? We are looking at one of the old Westland flagships. Now, currently the Westland flagship is this. Fun fact, my bottle is signed by Tyler Peterson. Extremely cool. I'm trying to find a way to oh, there we go. See? Fucking cool. And yes, I have opened this because my plan is to, when this is empty, fill it with malted barley grain, and then reseal it, put it on my shelf, display it. I'm a nerd. But this is one of the 3 old Westland flagships. You see, they released that one in 2023. I looked this up earlier, and I've already forgotten. It's okay, it doesn't really matter, because these aren't really available anymore. If you see them on shelves, you should pick them up because they're good and interesting. The set of 3, an American oak, a peated, and a sherry cask. Sherry oak, sherry cask, something like that. These were their flagship entry-level, sort of introduction to Westland. And they are very interesting. They're very good. But I will say that going to a single flagship that is more representative of their style as a whole in a single bottle is an excellent way to go. But let's talk about this. Don't mind the Catoctin Creek Cloncairn. I don't have a Westland one yet. Now, this is an American single malt. It is bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. On the nose, it's light, slightly floral. Some like caramel, butterscotchy notes, but not real heavy on that. A little bit of vanilla. Just a little bit of just into baking spices. But there's really this base note in the malt that is something that I have come to recognize as characteristic of Westland. It's not quite floral, but it's getting there. Almost honeyed. Palate is similar. It's a lot of the same notes. What you get on the nose is what you get on the palate. There's maybe just a little bit more oak tannin on the palate than on the nose. And that floral note kind of turns into like a perfume floral, less than like a fresh flower floral, if that makes sense. Sort of a little bit sweeter, a little bit riper. Makes for an interesting palette because it all like there is like straight line from nose to palate. Some things there's like some deviation or some like the palate is totally different. But what you get on the nose is what you get on the palate. There are just certain elements of the palate that are more pronounced than they are in the nose, if that makes sense. And it's definitely like a little bit more oak influence on the palate. There's some baking spice, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla. Um, a little more of that like oak bitter tannin. The finish, the finish is it's not very long, which is like one of the downsides because of the three, and I believe I've had samples of all three. I have a box of samples next to me because there's a thing that I'm going to be doing, and sort of like reaching into the box and pulling out a sample to be like, oh, I'm going to sip on this while I talk about X, Y, or Z, because I have a lot of samples. Um, but I'm not digging through that box right now to find samples of the other two. Of the three of them, sorry, I got sidetracked. Of the three of the original flagships, the American oak, sherry oak, and peated, this is the least oily, which means that that finish has the least presence. Because one of the things that makes a finish really stick with you and be a nice long, fulfilling finish is the oiliness of it, if that makes sense. Because what it does is it coats your palate and your throat as you're swallowing it, and that create or causes certain flavors to linger. So, like on a peated whiskey, you'll often get like a nice, like smoky, semi-sweet finish. This, it's there briefly, and then it quickly fades, and it's very clean. There isn't anything. There aren't any off notes or really any strong standout notes on the finish. It just sort of it's straight line all the way through, which is good, but also means it's a little less interesting. A friend of mine um, bought a bottle on my recommendation after I bought this one because it was on clearance from VA ABC for not too much. Um, and their assessment of it is that they think that it is a phenomenal dram to enjoy in a rocks glass with an ice cube, which waters it down a little bit, but it also brings out um, some more of the floral notes and sort of tamps down on the barrel bitter that kind of cuts through a little bit more on the palate. Yeah, the finish is mostly that barrel character because those are going to be the heavier flavors that are that are going to really present themselves in the finish. Now, I always ask and answer 3 questions on these reviews. 1, do I like it? Absolutely. I think this is a very good representation of the Westland style, or at least part of the Westland style. I mentioned earlier that I think that their new flagship is a better representation of it, but that may be a discussion for another day. 2, do I think it's a good value? See, here's the rub. You can't really get this anymore. But for what I paid, phenomenal value. Do I recommend it? If you see it on a shelf, pick it up. It's worth it. Excuse me. Not just because it's a discontinued whiskey and you may not have an opportunity to try it again, but because it is a genuinely very good whiskey, and I would recommend it if you see it. Now, with all that out of the way, just really quick, if you want to support my show, I am selling these beautiful ballpoint twist pens. French oak held cognac for 45 years before being used to finish a peated American single malt whiskey in the Pacific Northwest. If you know, you know. I think my dice died. Look for new t-shirt designs in the description to my Friday video. I've already started the ramp up to the 2026 Virginia Whiskey Tournament. So keep an eye out for that because that's something that I do every year. This is year 5 of doing it. Yeah, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, this will be year 5 of doing it. It's a big deal for me. It's a way that I can sort of give some love to the craft distilling community in the Commonwealth of Virginia, a place that I love. With all that out of the way, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share with your friends who are just beginning their journey into American single malt whiskey, and let me know what you think of the old Westland flagships versus the current single flagship. I've got to stop. I almost forgot. I don't know what I'm reviewing on Friday because I haven't spun the wheel yet. So let's, boom. Let's just pull that up. And let's hide that choice so I don't spin it again. And let's see what we're looking at on Friday. Ooh. Jim Beam Rye. So, less excited about that one. It's a good whiskey. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just less excited about that than other things. So, until next time, stay happy, stay geeks, Stancha.